How are you? Good, good. And your name is? Okay, great. Yep, you're my 3 o'clock. So you're here for allergy tests, right? Okay, great. And is this the first appointment here, right? Okay. And is this your first ever appointment seeing an allergist? Okay. Great. So, I just want you to know there's nothing to be scared of. I just want to make you feel comfortable. So if anything, makes you feel uncomfortable, you have any questions, please feel free to ask at any time, okay? Okay, great. So I am going to ask you a few questions about your health history, your family history, your diet, things like that, and then we'll get into any allergies you believe that you have, okay? Okay, great. So first, you did fill out your paperwork online with your phone number and your address and all those basics, your insurance and stuff, right? Okay, yeah. Let me just check that here. Can you just verify your phone number? Great, and your address? Okay, and your emergency contact? Okay, and I see you made a copy of your insurance card. Great. Okay, so that's all that kind of basic stuff. Now, do you have any serious health concerns that I should know about? Okay. No, that's very common. You're definitely not alone in that. That shouldn't make any difference here. Yeah. Is there any medications you're on right now, or even supplements, vitamins? Okay. Does that have biotin in it? Okay, great. Oh, that's great to be taking anytime. How long have you been taking all of these? Over a year? Okay, good. And you haven't had any kind of side effects or issues from them? Okay, great. You know if you're allergic to any medications? Great. Let me see here. Do you have a family history of cancer? Okay, and who had that? Okay. That's on your mom's side, okay. What about high blood pressure? Okay, any heart problems? Diabetes? Great, okay. So, obviously you came in today for an allergy test. Is there anything specific that caused you to come in? Did you have a reaction to something? Just curious? Okay, great. Now, for anyone who comes back with any allergies of any level, whether it's pollen or, anaphylaxis, anything, I do give them an EpiPen just for peace of mind. I have no problem doing that, so I will be giving you a prescription for that if anything comes back positive, okay? Okay, and we will show you how to use it too if you end up needing it. Oh, okay, great, you already know how? Okay, that's wonderful. It's always easy having a patient who has a lot of knowledge. Yeah, makes my job easier. Okay, so why don't you let me know what allergies you believe that you have, things that you think you're sensitive to, that you've had reactions to. It can be anything environmental, pet dander, foods, anything. Okay, yep. Okay. What about dust? Okay. Okay. Now that could just be a sensitivity. Some people just are sensitive to fragrance. It just kind of irritates you, so it may not be the lavender specifically. It could just be the fact that it's a fragrance irritating your skin. Yeah. Okay, any foods? Okay, well, we will test for a gluten allergy, eggs, dairy, things that are quite common, just to be safe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you don't think you have any food allergies? Okay, that's good to know. Now, what is your diet like? Would you say that you eat a mostly healthy diet? Do you, indulge in sweets and sugars a lot? Do you eat all the fried foods or packaged foods, things that are processed? Mm-hmm. Okay. And how do you feel after you eat those types of foods? Do you feel completely normal, a little sluggish? Okay. Is there any foods that have caused you to have stomach pain, diarrhea, vomiting, things that wouldn't be, food poisoning or something like that, but things that just irritate you, maybe seafood, shellfish? No? Okay, well, you're very lucky then. Yeah, one thing that we tend to struggle with here is finding the balance between a sensitivity and an allergy. That's what we will do blood work for, depending on what the test results in here come back as. Sometimes the test results we get here can be inconclusive. They can be false positive, false negative. They tend to give us an answer if you're highly allergic to something like nuts. But if you have a sensitivity, that won't come back on the test we're going to do in office today. So you'd have to have a follow-up with some blood work. Yeah, you'd have to go to the lab, but we'd give you all that information. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so today we're going to test for your most common allergens that most people have allergies to with food and seasonal kind of environmental factors. This will be a scratch test, which isn't actually scratching you, but it's kind of like if someone were to poke you with a sewing needle, not breaking the skin, but just kind of slightly like irritating it, and we'll let you sit for 15 minutes on your phone or, do whatever you want. You can sit here and chat if you want. And then after that 15 minutes, we will see if there's any reaction. Now, usually if there's an intense reaction and you have a severe allergy, it'll come back quite quickly. And then we also have a control that we're going to apply to you that will have a reaction. So the reaction will be like a mosquito bite. It'll be a little raised red bump and it'll be itchy. But when we're done, we will remove all of the substances and we will clean your arm off. And we will apply a Benadryl ointment to stop the itching, okay? So we're going to do this on both of your arms, alright? So we will use a pen that is easily removable to mark out these lines on your arms and number them for each of the allergens. And then we will wait and see what the results show. And from there we'll decide if we want to move forward, if there's any allergies that I'm concerned about. If it's something simple that you can avoid, then that's great. But if it's something that, you can't avoid, then we will deal with that once we cross that bridge. Alright, how does that sound? Okay, is there any questions you have for me? Oh, okay, so this is going to take maybe 5 minutes with these little kind of testing kits that have these, not needles, but like kind of something it almost, like I said, feels like a sewing needle. But it doesn't actually penetrate the skin, and it's kind of soaked in the allergen, so that will just kind of touch the skin and poke it. It'll feel kind of like someone's poking you with a boar bristle hairbrush, if that helps. It's kind of just a mild irritation. It is not pain. It won't feel like you're being poked with a needle, like for, getting your blood drawn, okay? Okay, so, I have down here the things we're definitely looking out for, and those things, if they don't come back on this test, we will do blood work for them, okay? Okay, so, I'm gonna go and grab the products, and I would just ask you to roll up your sleeves, and we'll get started, alright? Okay, great. And I do want to let you know, any reactions your skin has, they will be, gone within 20-25 minutes because of the ointment we'll use after. So there's nothing to be worried about, okay? Okay, great. Okay, before we get started, I am just going to take your oxygen level and your heart rate, okay, just as a precaution. Okay, so I have this here. This is just going to go on your finger, okay? I'm going to turn it on. Just open it up, put your finger all the way in. Okay. take a few seconds. Oh wow, great. Okay, so your heart rate is only 79, which is very good actually for being in a doctor's office with white coat syndrome, and I'll bring your heart rate up a bit. And your blood oxygen is 98%. Awesome. Okay, so nothing to be worried about there. Now, so you've rolled your sleeves up. If you don't mind, I'm just going to roll up the shoulders a little bit more. The test goes kind of pretty far up the arm. Okay, so let me grab my materials. If you don't want to look, you don't have to, but it's really, like I said, you can see here, it's nothing really bad. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, keep your arm up. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, great, let me just mark that down. Awesome. Now, the other arm. Thank you for that. Okay. Now, there will be one over here on this arm that itches for sure. That is the control, just to make sure everything's working, that you didn't take any antihistamines or antibiotics before this, although you saw in the paperwork you had emailed you. I know. But sometimes you could take something and not realize it has that in it. Yeah. So, we're going to just let that sit for a bit. Do you let me know if you feel anything, if anything's bothering you, itching, burning, any kind of sensations. The one right here is the one that is going to itch. Okay, so like I said, it's going to feel like a mosquito bite. That's normal. We're expecting that to happen. Anything else, just please let me know, and I'll let you know what you're allergic to, okay? So I'm going to just take some notes here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, great. I did want to ask though, you mentioned that you believe that you're allergic to pollen and mold spores. Why is that? Like, what are your symptoms? Yeah. Any kind of sinus issue, any nose? No? Okay, so that could be a sensitivity, to be honest. Dry, itchy eyes can be more of a sensitivity than a severe allergy when it comes to pollen. A lot of people think that they're allergic to pollen, when in fact it's the wind of the new season and just things changing that you're adjusting to. Yeah. It could also just be the pollen blowing into your eyes, and that would irritate you no matter what it was. It was dust or dirt or sand. So this test will let us know. Yeah. Okay, great. And like I said, you said earlier lavender. Do you have any kind of results or reactions to rose, eucalyptus, anything like that? No? Okay, and is this a skin reaction or like a sensorial reaction? Your nose, your eyes, skin? And what would that be? Itch, redness? Okay. Now, if someone were to light a lavender candle or spray, like a room spray with lavender, would that bother you? Okay. And you said you didn't have any issues with any food. No foods irritate you, make you itch, make your mouth feel swollen. Okay, great. That's good to know. Does anyone in your immediate family, sisters, brothers, parents, have any allergies that you know about to food, or just all seasonal? Okay. Any pet dander allergies? No? Okay. Do you have any pets at home? Okay. And do they sleep in your bed with you? Okay. You don't notice anything when you wake up in the morning? Itchy eyes, sore throat? No? Okay, good. You'd be surprised how many people actually have a pet allergy who have a pet. What can actually happen is if you are allergic to, say, cats, and you've grown up with a cat, you may not have any symptoms to that cat, but you go to someone else's house with a different breed, and that can irritate you because you haven't kind of built up an immunity to that. Same thing for dogs. And it also, allergy to dogs can be different for everyone, so you might be able to deal with a dog that's lower shedding, of course hyperallergenic dog, but if you attract the dog that's a very high shedding dog, it could actually irritate you a lot. So some allergies, as I said earlier, are more, there's kind of a scale. There's a scale of severe anaphylaxis where you'd have to go to the hospital, and then there's a sensitivity where you kind of have a mild itchy throat, or your eyes bother you, things like that. Yeah. And now I know yes, I know, I figured you'd know that. There are some allergies that can be removed from your diet or things like that and slowly reintroduced, and you can actually get rid of the allergy. Some things are not like that. It really depends. Some people find that with gluten or eggs, things like that can work, but it's not always the case. So I wouldn't, try to do that on your own. Definitely consult with me if we find that you're allergic to something and you wanted to go about that route. Also, if you're someone that doesn't want to take, allergy medication like Benadryl, I would recommend a weekly shot. You mentioned that you don't live too far from here. If you do have a severe allergy to something that you really can't get rid of, kind of like I said, if someone has pets and they do find out they're allergic, they don't want to get rid of the pet, of course, so they will come in for a weekly shot, and your insurance would cover that. Yeah, so that is something that we can do too, but we will look into all of that when the test is done, which looks like it's coming close. I do see the redness from that. Yeah, it's itchy. Yeah, okay, let's see. I'm not seeing any more severe redness. Is there any other areas that are itchy, feel tight, swollen, anything like that? Okay. Yeah, looks like you just have the control to make sure you didn't take anything. Can you just turn your arm a little that way? Okay. Yeah, I mean right now it looks like you aren't allergic to anything. What's not on this test is the lavender. We don't include that. But mold spores, pollen dust, gluten, eggs, dairy, also environmental, in this area, things like that are on here, and you're not, showing any signs. As I said, there could be false negatives, so if you want me to, we can order a blood test to test for multiple things at once. But it looks like you're not allergic to any of these things right now. If you want a more in-depth test, we can move far along, but you said you never had any kind of severe reactions, so it's not something I'd be overly worried about. So, as of right now, I'd say, unless you have a severe reaction to something, we can just leave it at that. I will also give you an EpiPen for any kind of emergencies. You said, yep, okay. So you can pick that up at your pharmacy probably later today. Do you want me to order any blood work for any specific allergies or to test further on, just for peace of mind? No? Okay. That's just fine. No. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. If you had any severe allergies or reactions to something, then I would want to test for it just to make sure. I know some things are harder to, look into. Some allergies are, you can obviously avoid something. Some are a little bit more difficult. You have to check the ingredients all the time, and, some things have multiple names, so you may not know what those are. Because you haven't had any severe issues, I wouldn't worry too much. So I think that we're okay on that mark. I'm glad you came in, though, just to get some peace of mind. Definitely keep taking that vitamin C, because that is actually a natural antihistamine, so that could be helping you with the mild sensitivities you have. It could prevent those from becoming severe. Yeah. Okay. So it was lovely meeting you today. I hope everything stays, good with you. If you do have any issues, please call and make an appointment. We can test for anything. I can also order you something, steroids, if you do end up having some kind of a reaction to something. Yeah. Okay, so before I send you home, I am not going to make you another appointment right now because there's really no need. But before I send you home, do you have any other questions for me? No? Okay. That's great. No, you're a very easy patient. Looks like I have everything I need here for your file. we don't need to see you every year like any other kind of doctor, just because this is a specialty. But like I said, do make an appointment if you need one or you have any questions. And hopefully I don't have to see you. Yeah, okay, so thank you so much for coming in, and have a great rest of your day. Okay, bye-bye.